Okay, Attorney Eloy Sepulveda.
Judge, I have a quick announcement, Judge. I'm here on Greg Martinez, Judge. He has a couple of cases, Judge. It's CR 2011-377-I and 15109-I, Judge. Judge, we failed to execute one document for a plea paper. Judge, we could just have some time just to have him execute that document just so he can come into my office.
Okay, and what date do you, how much time?
Could you give us a couple of weeks, Judge?
Okay, September 9th at 1:30.
Thank you, Judge. That's all we have. Stay safe.
Likewise.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Okay, Attorney Chris Sully.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have Luis Cifuentes. He is numbers 8 through 11 on the docket. I represent him on 10 through 11, but I believe that his attorney on the other two cases filed a motion to withdraw. In any event, Your Honor, we recently reached a plea agreement with the state, so we're asking for a short reset so we can try to get the paperwork signed, Your Honor.
Okay, so then you're representing him on 9 through 11?
Currently, I'm only representing him on 10 and 11, Your Honor.
Okay, I also have you as the attorney of record on CR 21-08920-I.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I may have missed a case on the docket, but yes, I'm representing him on those newer charges, Your Honor.
Okay, so then how much time are you asking for?
I would ask for about a week, Your Honor, but I'll defer to the court.
Okay. So you want to come back on the 31st?
I have federal court that morning, Your Honor, but if it's in the afternoon, I can be available that day.
Okay, well, we can do the 31st or the 2nd. And they'll be in the afternoon at 1:30.
Oh, then in that case, I can do either one, Your Honor. I would suggest maybe the 2nd, just because I know pretrial is kind of backed up in signing the paperwork, but I can try for Tuesday, for the 31st.
Okay, that's fine. Then we'll do September 2nd at 1:30. And also, Mr. Sully, on that CR 21-08920-I, we're pending a waiver of arraignment on that.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll take care of that for you.
Okay, so then we'll go ahead and set him for a plea on those.
Judge, if I may, just for clarification, will defense counsel be representing him on the remainder of the cases, or are the other defense counsels going to be staying on?
Judge, I don't see a motion to withdraw filed.
I don't either.
Last week before your internet, you had some difficulties with your internet. Mr. Brunella did announce to us administratively that he may be withdrawing. He said that he would let us know, but it was not certain.
Okay, so as of right now, a motion to withdraw has not been filed.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so was Mr. Brunella appointed?
No,
Your Honor, I believe he was retained. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, so is the plea agreement that you're entering into, or your client's entering into, Mr. Sully, does it take care of this case?
Your Honor, it would be a plea to some of the cases and dismissal of the remainder.
Okay.
I'd have to check to see if one of the cases that I believe one of the cases he's pleading to is number 7, which currently he's represented by Roel Trevino, but the other 2 cases I'm currently representing him on.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's.
I'm sorry, because he has 2 cases where Roel Trevino is the attorney of record, and one that he has Leo Pruneda as the attorney of record. But a motion to withdraw hasn't been filed on any one of those cases. So if we're taking care of those cases with your plea, then we need to do something about that first.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll try to get a hold of him. I was under the assumption that he was going to file that before this hearing, and that's why we had reset it. But I'll double check, Your Honor. Hopefully we can take care of that before the plea.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reset all his cases to September 2nd at 1:30, and I'm hoping that by then that'll be cleared up.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Cifuentes, you'll return on September 2nd at 1:30. You just need to sign off on some paperwork, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Sully?
No, thank you, Your Honor. I believe that's all I have with this honorable court.
Okay. Thank you. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, any other quick announcements? Okay. Okay, Ms. Flores,
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
good afternoon. Is your plea ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And that's number 19, is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
Okay, and Ms. Diaz, your plea is ready? Ms. Diaz?
Yes, Judge, that one is ready.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Osuna, which case are you here on?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. We are here on number 22, State of Texas versus Fernanda Jaimes, CR 20-07095I. We are present and ready for a plea. My client is on as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Monsiváis, is your plea ready?
Yes, Your Honor. It's number 25 on the court's docket. It's a DWI PTD.
Okay. And is your client present? Diego Mascorro.
He should be on there, Judge.
Diego
Yes, ma'am.
Mascorro, okay. Okay, Mr. Arredondo, are you here on Edgar Moreno?
Yes, Judge. It is a quick announcement, Judge. I'm just waiting for him to log on.
Okay, so he's not on yet.
No, Judge, I just want to take that. I just want to take the announcement now.
Your Honor, if I
Is he
may,
go ahead, Ms. Wadena.
regarding Edgar Moreno, this case, we're not ready for a plea. Defense counsel is going to be reaching out to Ms. Lozano to see if we can get a PTD reconsideration.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, that's on CR 20-07044-I, State of Texas versus Edgar Moreno. And where is Mr. Moreno today?
He sent us a text message asking us when to what date was his case reset. I don't know why he was under that impression, Judge. We told him to log on.
Okay, well, he needs to log on before the end of the docket, but how much time are you asking for, Mr. Arredondo?
It's 30 days, Judge, and he can set us down. You know what? Can you just set it down for 45 days and set it for a plea, Judge? And either the POM program should be accepted or not. We're just going to take the deferred.
So you want a 45-day setting from today?
Yes, Judge. And set it for a plea, Your Honor, please.
Okay, October 5th at 1:30.
Thank you.
And your client, if he doesn't come on by the end, I'm gonna have to nice on you,
Okay, Judge.
okay? But you are excused unless you have another announcement.
That's all I have for today, Judge. May I be excused? Okay, thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Likewise. Okay, Mr. Jalili and your client, Michael Munoz, is he ready?
Yes, Your Honor, we're present and ready.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to get started shortly. Okay, has Greg Lopez signed on? Okay, Mr. Peña, which one is yours, sir?
Moises Abrego, Your Honor, two cases, 14-562 and I say 14-19, and then 1-4-562 and 19-06-731. The same defendant, Abrego. He's ready, he's signed up.
He's 14 through 16, Your Honor.
Okay, it's because I had another attorney on here. Okay,
Judge, these are ready for a plea.
okay. Okay. Ms. Flores, is Mr. Zuniga ready? Oh, those are dismissed, okay. Mr. Martinez, is Mr. Taylor ready?
He's not on the screen, Judge. He's having phone difficulties. I just got off the phone with him right now, so I'm attempting to get him on.
Okay.
He
And
is
is that gonna be
technically, sorry, Judge, you go.
Oh, I see. Okay, no, go ahead.
He's technically already been admonished all the way through. He was previously placed. We just need him to affirm his judgment and continue or start his probation now. But he's having phone difficulties, and I'm just waiting to see if he jumps on.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get started with the pleas of those the attorneys that are here with their clients. So I need for you to please listen carefully. Mr. Moises Abrego, English speaking or Spanish speaking? You're on mute, Mr. Peña.
English, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Guerrero, are you English speaking or Spanish speaking? Joel Guerrero?
Dominantly English, Your Honor.
Okay, I need for you to turn on your video. Selena Hinojosa, can you hear me? Selena Hinojosa.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fernanda Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Diego Mascorro, English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English speaking.
Okay. Mr. Munoz.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is your client Eddie Elizondo on?
I don't see him, Judge. Oh, yes, Judge. He's right there.
Okay, there he is.
He is on, Judge. We're ready for a plea.
Okay, so Mr. Elizondo is English speaking, correct?
He is English speaking, Judge.
Okay. So Michael Munoz, English speaking or Spanish speaking?
English.
Okay. If I called out your name, I need for you to please listen carefully. Make sure to unmute yourself and have your video on. And
Judge, I do have another plea, Judge, for Emiliano Elizondo. I'm not sure if you called him, Judge.
Emiliano Flores,
Emiliano
is
Elizondo.
Mr. Flores present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Flores, okay, so if I called your name, then I need for you to please listen carefully. All right, raise your right hand.
I'm sorry, Judge, to interrupt you. Regarding Emiliano Flores, can I give you the case number that he will be pleading to? It's to a theft, and it's the POCS that will be dismissed. This is number 18.
Okay,
The case number is CR 2007244-I. That is a theft. And the POCS will be dismissed, Judge.
okay, and it's ready.
Yes, correct.
Okay, raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Abrego?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Elizondo? Mr. Elizondo, yes or no?
He's on mute, Judge.
You need to, that's why I said you all need to unmute yourselves, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Emiliano Flores,
Yes, ma'am.
Joel Guerrero III,
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Selena Hinojosa,
Yes, ma'am.
Fernanda Jaimes,
Ma'am.
Diego Mascorro,
Yes, ma'am.
and Michael Anthony Munoz.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you may lower your hands. And cause number CR 190631-I, CR 191456-2-I. Is your true and correct name Moises Esau Abrego?
Yes, sir.
In CR 190490-6-I, State of Texas versus Eddie Villarreal Elizondo, is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Judge.
CR 21-03273-I, State of Texas versus Emiliano Flores Jr., is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
CR 1906175-I, State of Texas versus Joel Guerrero III. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 1902882-I, State of Texas versus Selena Hinojosa. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
CR 2007095-I, State of Texas versus Fernanda Guadalupe Jaimes. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
CR 1915871-I, State of Texas versus Diego Mascorro. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, ma'am.
CR 2107540-I, State of Texas versus Michael Anthony Munoz. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Abrego, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, and a secondary charge of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Eddie Villarreal Elizondo, you are before the court charged with driving while intoxicated, second, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Emiliano Flores Jr., you are charged with theft, is the one that you will be pleading to on CR 20-07244-I. A Class B, Ms. Guereña?
Yes, correct, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Joel Guerrero, you are charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Selena Hinojosa, you are charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Jaimes, you are charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Diego Mascorro, you are charged with driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. And Mr. Michael Anthony Munoz, you are charged with criminal trespass, a Class B misdemeanor. For those defendants that are before the court with a Class B misdemeanor, a Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. For those defendants with a Class A misdemeanor, a Class A misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense of which you are charged? Mr. Abrego, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo, yes or no?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero, yes or no?
I understand, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes, yes or no?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, speak up, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you have the right to an attorney and the trial by jury, but you can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with this court. At this time, I will ask each of you if you have an opportunity to review that document with your attorney before signing it. Mr. Abrego? Yes or
Yes,
no?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
Did each of you understand that when you signed that document that you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Mr. Abrego?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerrero?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will accept your waiver of a trial by jury. Has any court ever declared any of you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane? Yes or no, Mr. Abrego?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo?
No, Judge.
Mr. Flores?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Guerrero?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes?
Ma'am.
Okay, you're a little bit far away from your microphone or something. Yes or no, Ms. Jaimes?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense? Mr. Peña?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, I do, Judge.
Ms. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Diaz? Ms. Diaz? Ms. Diaz? Okay, I'm not sure why. Mr. Osuna?
Ms. Jaimes is competent, Your Honor, has been able to assist.
Ms. Monsiváis?
Mr. Moscoto has been able to assist, Your Honor.
Mr. Jalili?
Mr. Munoz is competent and able to assist, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Ms. Hinojosa, I cannot continue with you unless your attorney answers whether or not you are competent. So Ms. Diaz, is Ms. Hinojosa competent to assist you in your own defense?
Yes.
Is Ms. Hinojosa competent to assist you in her own defense?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Is Ms. Hinojosa competent to assist you in her own defense?
She is, Your Honor.
Okay, we've already started with the pleas. Okay. Then the court will make a finding that all of the defendants before the court are mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you will need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Do you understand that, Mr. Abrego, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerrero?
I understand, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Mr. Abrego, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Guerrero?
I understand, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro, I apologize.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. At this time, I need to ask you if you are a U.S. citizen. Mr. Abrego, are you a U.S. citizen, sir? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Elizondo, yes or no?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Guerrero, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes, yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Mascorro, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If you are not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea, Mr. Abrego? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Ms. Jaimes, do you understand the consequences of your plea? Yes or no?
Ma'am.
Knowing and understanding the consequences of your plea and possible immigration status, do you still wish to enter your plea of guilty today, Mr. Abrego?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In CR 1906731-I and in CR 1914562-I to the offenses of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor, Mr. Abrego, how do you plead on each of those offenses, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
On CR 1904906-I to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a second, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Elizondo, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Judge.
In CR 20-07244-I for the offense of theft, a Class B. How do you plead, Mr. Flores, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, ma'am.
In CR 1906175-I to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Guerrero, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
In CR 1902882-I to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. Ms. Hinojosa, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
In CR 20-07095-I for the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. Ms. Jaimes, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 1915871-I to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, Mr. Mascorro, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 2107540-I, the state of Texas versus Michael Anthony Munoz to the offense of criminal trespass, a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are all of you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Mr. Abrego, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Elizondo,
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Flores,
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Guerrero,
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Hinojosa,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jaimes,
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Mascorro,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Munoz.
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Judge, before reading an evidence only regarding the defendant Eddie Elizondo, there were dates missing on the waivers of the paperwork. The remainder of the paperwork was dated on July 21st of this year. Just for clarification, defense counsel, was all that paperwork signed on that same day?
Yes, it was all signed on the same day.
Okay, thank you, Judge. State offers 2 documents: an offense report to State Exhibit 1, notification, certification of defendant's right of appeal as State Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 39.14, disclosure as State Exhibit 3, waiver of risk and needs assessments as State Exhibit 4. Regarding the defendants, Diego Mascoro and Fernanda Jaimes, the state offers the PTD packet State Exhibit 5. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court. State would also request that defense counsel stipulate to the fact that all evidence has been e-filed as sufficient evidence to corroborate the plea of guilty.
Any objections? There being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. Okay. So we're going, once we conclude with your case, because we're going into the sentencing phase, you may be excused if you have no further business with this court. In cause number CR 1906731-I and in CR 1914562-I in the state of Texas versus Moises Abrego, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged on each of those offenses. What is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, on both of those cases, it is the same recommendation. It is a $200 fine plus court costs, 180 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 18 months. The alcohol course, the mobile alcohol monitoring device for 9 months, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, the MAD impact panel for the defendant to participate and successfully complete the outpatient treatment, and 20 hours of community service. CR 1913367-I will be dismissed with the aforementioned pleas.
Okay. Any questions or requests on behalf of your client, Mr. Peña?
No, Your Honor, that's all agreed upon. We ask the court to consider that.
Okay, then the court will follow the recommendation and give him 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else for Mr. Abrego from the state?
Not from the state, Judge.
None,
Okay,
Your Honor.
okay, Mr. Abrego, what is your phone number, sir?
956-560-3080.
Okay, then being nothing further, Mr. Abrego and Mr. Peña, you are excused.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
In CR 19-04906-I, the state of Texas versus Eddie Villarreal Elizondo. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
The state recommends a $300 fine plus court costs, 1 year Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 16 months, the repeat offender program, the interlock device, 72 hours, Hidalgo County Jail, 180 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 30 hours of community service.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking the court to give him some time, Judge, to do the 3 days in the county jail. And also any consideration in the CSR hours, Judge.
Mr. Elizondo, do you work?
Yes, Judge.
Are you working full-time?
I work at night. I do janitorial. Yeah, full-time. It's janitorial work, so it's during at night.
Okay, in that case, the court will waive the 30 CSR hours because you are working full-time. And I believe that 3 days he can do anytime during the probation period. Is that correct, Ms. Guareña?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
Okay, so he'll have that time, Mr. Munoz.
Perfect, Judge.
Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
and anything else, Mr. Munoz?
Not on this case, Judge.
Okay, then I'm gonna give him 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Yes, Judge.
Okay,
And may he
okay,
be,
and your phone number, Mr. Elizondo?
Area code 956-929-6566.
Okay, sir, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, in CR 21-03273-I, the state of Texas versus Emiliano Flores Jr. It is a judgment of the court, sir. I'm sorry, that's not the case number he's pleading to. In CR 20-07244-I, in the state of Texas versus Emiliano Flores Jr., it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. What is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $200 fine plus court costs, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 10 months, the theft course, and 20 hours of community service. Regarding CR 2103273-I, this case will be dismissed with the aforementioned plea.
Okay, Mr. Munoz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
yes, Judge, my client pled guilty to a felony, Judge, CR-45-18-E. He was assessed a fine, court costs, community service hours. In that case, Judge, I'm asking the court to have any consideration so that he won't have to pay 2 probationary fees. I'd ask for consideration in the CSR hours since he does have to do some over there as well, Judge, and then just time to pay the remaining balance, Judge.
Okay, so, Mr. Flores, are you working full-time?
No, Judge. Right now I'm not working. I got fired because of the courts, but I'm going to probation right now to ask my probation officer if he can send me back to work up north on Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna waive your CSR hours, but I'm gonna go ahead and order you to meet with Ms. Trejo, which is the employment specialist. And that way, maybe she can give you also some options so that you can try and find a job. And then you want those the probation fees to be waived, Mr. Munoz, or to be concurrent with the felony ones?
just for him not to be assessed two sets of fees, Judge, just one probationary fee. So I guess waived or concurrent. I'm not sure what the correct thing would be, Judge.
Okay. I'll grant that request.
Judge, and if he does
And
find
then,
it,
but you will need to clarify, is it, Ms. Guarenia, is it waived one and then he pays his felony probation fees, or?
Yes, Ms. Soto, he can waive it, correct? So he could just pay on the felony probation?
That is correct, Judge. You can waive the probation fees on this case, and he's already ordered to pay on the felony drug court case.
Okay, then I'll waive his probation fee on the CR 20-07244-I.
Judge, and if he finds employment outside of the county, does he have permission to travel for work purposes?
Upon proof, yes.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. And Mr. Flores, what's your number?
956-651-4542.
Okay, Mr. Flores. Good luck to you.
Judge, that's
Thank
all
you.
I have this afternoon as well, Judge. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. CR 19-06175-I, the state of Texas versus Joel Guerrero III. It is the judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $300 fine plus court cost, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated over 1 year. The alcohol course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 20 hours of community service.
Okay, Ms. Flores, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, to asking for consideration on the fine and court costs and that the Texas driver's license suspension will concur with any administrative suspension.
Okay. And Mr. Guerrero, are you working right now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm employed full-time as a solar panel electricianist.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead and waive your CSR hours. I'm gonna grant your attorney's request and allow your driver's license suspension to run concurrent with any pending suspension. I'm gonna give you 90 days to pay your fine and 90 days to pay your court costs.
Appreciate you, Your Honor.
Okay, and your phone number, sir.
956-249-4252. I can repeat that if you'd like.
I got it. Okay, Ms. Flores, anything else on Mr. Guerrero?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, anything from the state?
Nothing further, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Guerrero, you and your attorney are excused, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have
Yeah.
a wonderful day.
Likewise, in CR 19-02-882-I, the state of Texas versus Selena Hinojosa, for the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $300 fine plus court cost, 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, prorated over 8 months. The alcohol course, the drug education course, the interlock device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and open restitution.
Okay, Ms. Diaz, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, just two things of note. First of all, I just want to confirm that CR-19-01837I is being dismissed with the plea today. And in addition to the open restitution, Judge, I've already given my client information. She claims she had insurance for that accident and that the damages were covered. I did already admonish her that that information needed to be provided to the DA's office if additional restitution wasn't going to be added to her sentence.
Okay. So Ms. Guarenia, I'll give you an opportunity to confirm the dismissal with the plea.
Yes, Judge, sorry, I overlooked that. CR 19-01837-I will be dismissed with the aforementioned plea regarding the restitution. If we could just have a restitution hearing date, that way we could have time to clear up any, if the insurance did cover any damages.
Okay, and Ms. Hinojosa does have a mobile monitoring device right now, and I'm gonna keep her on that, so it'll be a mobile alcohol monitoring device instead of an interlock device.
That's correct, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, And I'm gonna give her 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs. And I'm sorry, Ms. Diaz, were you requesting that the driver's license suspension run concurrent?
I have, Your Honor, and just for the court's information, she has been pending this plea for approximately 2 years, Judge.
Okay, so her driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any suspension that is pending at this time. And she'll have, I think I already said it, but 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. And also, I believe that we need to address some violations, Ms. Soto.
Yes, Judge. Since she released from jail, she did have 2 missed tests, Judge. One of those missed tests ended up being a late test. She took it on 8/21/21 at 8:54 a.m., Judge.
Okay. Ms. Hinojosa, I think you and I have already created a history here where you know what, that I do believe in consequences for behavior in violating the court's order. So I don't have to explain, I do not have to accept your plea today. However, your attorney previously advocated for you and stated that you were going to behave differently during this probation period. I do not take missed tests, late tests, positive tests, skip tests. I don't care, any violation. I do not take that lightly, and you already know that. So if you're having issues waking up in the morning to take that test, then I suggest that you line up family members that'll make sure that you wake up, who are actually wanting you to stay out of jail. Because if not, you won't even last on probation that long, and they're going to file a revocation on you, and I'm going to grant it. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Hinojosa, I don't know what you have to do, but you need to get it together. What is your phone number?
It is 956-215-1830.
Okay, anything further from the state?
We could have the date for the restitution hearing, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Rivera, what date can we give them?
Yes, Judge, it's gonna be September the 21st at 9:30.
September the 21st?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, if nothing further, y'all may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. And in CR 21-07540-I in the state of Texas versus Michael Anthony Munoz, it is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
State recommends a $100 fine plus court costs, 30 days Hidalgo County Jail credit for the 21 days that he has served, and for the defendant to stay away from the victim, Sandra Serna.
Okay. Any questions or requests on behalf of your client, Mr. Jalili?
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask that the fine and court costs be waived in consideration for the time served, and that the judgment be for the 21 days that he already served in jail.
Okay. Mr. Munoz, do you understand that if I grant your attorney's request, it's going to be with much faith that you are going to stay away from the alleged victim, Ms. Sedma? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because right now you're facing an additional 9 days in jail that you will be going back to conclude if I choose not to grant your attorney's request.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently working full-time?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm not going to waive your fine and your court costs. You're going to have 90 days to pay your fine and 90 days to pay your court costs. However, I will give you credit for your time served. And I will order you to stay away from the victim, Sandra Serna. And that'll be the judgment of the court. Mr. Munoz, what is your phone number?
956-503-1597.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Jalili?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, you and your client may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. So, Ms. Jaimes, in CR 20-07095-I, in the state of Texas versus Fernanda Guadalupe Jaimes for driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level greater than 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, ma'am, that you are guilty as charged. And in CR 19-15871-I, the state of Texas versus Diego Mascorro for the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than a 0.15, a Class A misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. However, Ms. Jaimes and Mr. Mascorro, you are asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Is that correct, Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the pretrial diversion program is a contract that you are entering into with the state of Texas, whereby you are agreeing to comply with certain conditions of the pretrial diversion program. In exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you only if you successfully complete the program. Did you have an opportunity to review those terms and conditions of the program with your attorney, Ms. Jaimes?
We didn't hear you, Ms. Jaimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Mr. Mascorro?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in reviewing those terms and conditions of the pretrial diversion program, is there anything on there that you cannot realistically meet, Ms. Jaimes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and Mr. Mascorro?
No, ma'am.
The court will place you on the pretrial diversion program, Ms. Jaimes and Mr. Mascorro, and your reset date, I'm gonna have you come back, Ms. Jaimes, on August the 23rd, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. And Mr. Mascorro, you will also come back on that same date, August the 23rd, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. Anything further, Ms. Monsiváis or Mr. Osuna?
I'll let Ms. Monsiváis go first, Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor, nothing further.
Your Honor, and I would just briefly ask for an opportunity to put information on the record.
Yes, Mr. Osuna.
Yes, and I'll, Ms. Jaimes, just please unmute yourself and listen closely. So Ms. Jaimes has an immigration attorney. She is in the process of seeking asylum. I did instruct Ms. Jaimes to confer with her immigration attorney concerning possible consequences regarding that process and any immigration consequences in general. Ms. Jaimes informed me that she did speak with her immigration attorney. Her attorney approved of this plea bargain and indicated that there would be no consequences. And can you confirm that that's correct, Ms. Jaimes?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, best of luck to you, Ms. Jaimes, and also to you, Mr. Mascorro.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we-
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Likewise.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Likewise.
Okay.
Likewise. Okay, Mr. Martinez, it looks like Mr. Taylor was able to get on.
Yes, ma'am. I see him labeled as LG Stylo 6.
Yes, and I think he's, let me see.
He's the last one on your docket.
Yes, sir. Okay. That is CR 21-00285-I, the state of Texas versus Charton, CHARTON Taylor. Okay, and what are the announcements?
Judge, this individual was placed on the POMPTD earlier this year. He tested positive, he was removed, and now he's being transferred over to a deferred probation for a period of 6 months.
Okay. Ms. Lorena, did you want to add anything?
Yes, Judge, that is correct. If I could provide the new sentencing, it's going to be a $100 fine plus court costs, 5 months deferred with a drug education course and 10 hours of community service.
All of those conditions were explained to Mr. Taylor when he came into the office, Judge, and he signed off and fingerprinted the judgment.
Okay. So then with the, and is Mr. Taylor working full-time right now?
He just got a job. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't think he can unmute himself, so if you know the answer, just go ahead and respond.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
since Mr. Taylor is working full-time, I'm gonna go ahead and waive his 10 CSR hours. I'm gonna give him 90 days to pay the fines and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe the last time when we removed him, I already found that he had tested positive
Yes, ma'am.
and
You
was
had.
the basis of the removal. So we were just going to give him the new sentence today. Okay. So did you need anything else on the record, Mr. Martinez?
No, ma'am. He was properly admonished when he originally took the plea. He has pled guilty. We accepted all the conditions of the probation originally, both of the PTD and now of the new probation. He was also properly admonished as to all of his rights. He understood that he waived all those and we'd be moving forward to sentencing. All the exhibits were admitted last time as well.
Okay. So do you have a phone number for him, Mr. Martinez?
I do, Judge. The court want me to read that into the record right now?
Please.
Yes, ma'am. The phone number that he uses is going to be a non-area code from here. It's from El Paso, 915-309-0918.
Okay. Mr.
Okay.
Taylor, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Woodeni.
I apologize, Judge. I think the only thing that'd be pending is to have the order of removal to be signed.
Has that been forwarded to my queue?
It'll be requested, Judge. We weren't sure if it was finalized yet.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, if you can hear me, sir, best of luck to you. I'm glad you got a job. So you just need to do the best that you can, okay, sir? Okay.
He's
All
been
right.
working real hard, Judge, and he came up to the office last time. We were real excited. We were proud that he got that job.
Okay. Well, like I said, I truly believe in rehabilitation, so we'll give him a shot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing further, Judge. I appreciate the patience once again.
Absolutely. Okay. You may be excused, Mr. Taylor. If you know how, you can remove yourself and leave the meeting now. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge. I have nothing further. I believe I've got nothing else for the week, so I'll see you guys next week.
Really?
I think I'm done for the week with y'all.
I'm used to seeing you on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I
twice a
know.
day.
It's my favorite time of the week, I promise.
Okay, well, you take care of yourself then.
Appreciate y'all. Stay safe.
Likewise. Okay. So Jose Ontiveros, who's Mr. Ontiveros, can you hear me? Mr. Ontiveros? Mr. Ontiveros, ¿me escucha? Okay, I'm not sure. So what about numbers 1 through 4? I mean, sorry, 1 through 5. I noticed that the jail's already off. So did they give them a reset date?
Judge, we did receive the waivers. Tony did see them in the queue. We just didn't know if there was going to be any announcements concerning bond.
Okay.
If you'd like, we can go ahead and sign them with your permission, Judge.
Yes. What date are we resetting to?
He does have a felony, Judge. I'm not sure what. Let me see if I can find the date.
The next date for the felony is September 13th.
Okay.
We can do the 21st, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Ontiveros, have you contacted your attorney?
No.
Okay, you're my last case. So do you want an opportunity to call him because you're a PTD placement? Was everything already submitted?
Yes.
Let me ask the state if they,
Yes, that was ready, Judge.
okay, so we're just missing your attorney. Do you want an opportunity to contact him? I can take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go ahead and we're off the record. We'll be on a break for 5 minutes. Okay, did we hear from Mr. Lopez's office? Mr. Ontiveros, were you able to get a hold of your attorney?
No, not even in the office.
I can't hear you, sir.
Okay, not even in the office. Can you hear me?
Yes, nobody answered at the office?
No.
Okay. Well, sir, you're the last case, so I'm gonna have to give you a new date.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give you September 9th at 1:30.
All right.
Hopefully we can take care of it at that time. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Okay, you are excused. I apologize, Ms. Flores. I forgot to say we're back on the record, but if you got that on the record, on CR 1911930-I, State of Texas versus Jose Ontiveros, it was for a PTD placement. We reset him for September 9th at 1:30. Hopefully, so his attorney can make it on that date.
Got it, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Ontiveros, you're excused. Let me go back to number 12 and 13. Did we give them a new date?
No, Judge, we haven't, but I do see that there are some felony indictments that are pending, or actually they just went through. Let me see the hearings, that way we can set them.
The new felony dates are for September 20th.
Yes. We can do the 21st at 1:30, Your Honor, if you'd like.
The 21st at 1:30, okay. Okay, then let's go back to number 26, CR 20-07044-I, State of Texas versus Edgar Moreno. Mr. Moreno never did log on. What does the state say? Well,
State
let me have
request.
hold on, let me ask Mr. Damian. Mr. Damian, go ahead and call out the name 3 times.
Yes, ma'am. Edgar Moreno, Edgar Moreno, Edgar Moreno.
Okay, the name being called out 3 times and no response. What says the state?
State requests that a judgment NICE be granted, a habeas issued, and all bonds forfeited for this no-show defendant.
Okay, that'll be granted. Okay, Lily, that concludes this afternoon's docket. We are now off the record. Let me go ahead and stop the live stream.